the Chinese Australian community had grown, so that those with Chinese ancestry now make up 27% of the electorate, the highest proportion of any electorate nationally. When I was growing up, you didn't see many East Asian faces in the street. Still, instances of overt racism were rare. There were occasional slurs in the playground, and the time when neighbours suspected my dad of wanting to eat their dog. More pervasive were the questions of, "Where are you really from?" or comments like, "You speak really good English." While these episodes were significant enough to remember, they weren't much more than annoyances. Then, in 1996, a member of this House, Pauline Hanson, in her maiden speech, said Australia was in danger of being swamped by Asians, dredging up tired old colonial fears of a yellow peril. For the first time, I felt there were some in the population, maybe a sizable number, who considered me less Australian because of my race. I look around at this new parliament, particularly those on this side, and I see it beginning to reflect the diversity of the communities we serve. This is not diversity for diversity's sake. It is vital that young Australians of all races can look at federal parliament and think, that is somewhere I can aspire to be. Our backgrounds, whether professional or cultural, allow us to bring knowledge and skills to parliament that result in better government.
My story is a roadmap for that possibility becoming a reality. My family, the Moo family, immigrated to this country in the late 1800s to Darwin. We have a Hakka ancestry. Moo Yat Fa started out as a labourer working on the construction of the Darwin to Pine Creek Railroad. My Pawpaw's family, the Lao Guis, also immigrated from China around that time. Her mother came by ship as a maid, and her father worked as a slaughterman in Melbourne. Gungung always kept chooks in the backyard that he would defeather and butcher himself. He loved AFL, Geelong in particular, and when he settled in Brisbane, he worked as a carpenter and helped establish the very first Chinese Club of Queensland as one of its early chairmen. Pawpaw loved to play the piano, and she devoted her life to making sure that every one of her 4 children got a great education. When I was older, she would call me to drive her to the Bilo to get cartons of soft drink when they were on sale, cementing our shared love of a cheeky Pepsi Max for the ages, and also allowing me to put the words cheeky Pepsi Max into Hansard. Gungung was eventually admitted to the Air Force. He reached the rank of flying officer and completed over 50 sorties with the No. 31 Beaufighter Squadron, a testament to perseverance. His memory, and that of his siblings, who also served in the armed forces, is now preserved in the awarding of bursaries in their names to school kids in my local community, at St Thomas More College, Sunnybank, Runcorn and McGregor State High Schools. The children who receive those bursaries will never experience the slight of being characterised as NSEO. I doubt Pawpaw and Gungung, who were very much outsiders in this country for most of their lives, could have ever dreamed that their granddaughter would be standing in this place honouring their contributions as Chinese Australians.
I would like to take you back to the night of 18 August 1989 to a small house in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. That night, as a 3-year-old boy, I asked my parents why all our things were packed. My parents said to my sister and I that we were going to Australia. The next day would prove to be the most important day of my family's life. I'm told I would go on to repeat to myself for most of that evening, as kids do, the word Australia, 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 unsure about what would lie ahead. My parents had chosen to come to this great southern land in search of new opportunities for the family, but with an ever-present concern as to whether they and their children would be accepted. In particular, like so many migrants to this great country, they sought to give their children the best education possible, in the hope that would make their lives easier than the ones they had experienced with their families, but also to contribute to their new home. We arrived in the arms of family in Sydney, all of which are up there in the gallery. Spending the first year of our lives in Hurstville before moving to Revesby, where our family home would be. Whilst I've had the opportunity to travel around our country and to places around the world, I live about 5 minutes' drive from the house I grew up in. My parents still in Revesby, albeit on the other side of it now, my sister close by. We are now raising our own families in the electorate of Banks. As I told all those that I saw at early voting or on election day, I drive the same streets you do. I shop at the same grocery stores, I eat at the same restaurants, I go to the same doctors and hospitals, and I'm about to experience, as a parent, the same early childhood education and schools you do. Your problems are my problems. Your hopes are my hopes. Your joys are my joys.